Hello, World Wide Web. Welcome back to the Hangin with Web Show. I'm GW Pomichter. Thank you for logging on and tuning in. Hit subscribe. Don't wait. Hit it now. Hit the bell. Come back over and over again. We got artists, authors, filmmakers, creative minds of all kinds here on the Hangin with Web Show. Right here on HWWS WebTV. We're hanging out with artist and painter Mike Fogelberg. Mike's down here at the Gallie Artworks Art Festival. He's got some of these amazing paintings that he brought over for the set. Look at this. This set hasn't looked this good ever. We got everything from under the sea life wizards and landscapes, and oh my goodness, it's a buffet of color and creativity. Mike, thank you so much, man.
Thanks for
coming over. So, wow, I don't even know where to start. I feel like I'm in the middle of one of your paintings here. This is fantastic. But I'll tell you what, let's start a little bit with your journey as an artist. How long have you been painting?
Seriously, been painting about 10 years.
About 10 years now?
Yeah.
What drew you to wanting to, create, to be a painter?
I've always had something in the back of my mind where I felt creative. So slowly I found my love for art in high school and college, and I became a graphic designer. I went to school for graphic design. After school, I picked up painting, and as you can see, I pay attention to details.
I would say.
So
these are incredible. I mean, you've really built entire worlds in these paintings. They're just very immersive. We were really struck when you came over by the level of detail and the use of color and shape, which is awesome. I am a art fan, but not much of an art aficionado. So what would you classify this kind of painting as? What's your style?
I would say it's an acrylic painting, so I would say
it's got kind of
like a maximalism.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got a little bit of a surrealist feel in some of the use of shapes and color over here.
Surrealism,
but there's a lot of the under the sea pieces are really, there's a little realism in there because it's under the sea is so colorful. But then when you get above ground here, you can see a lot of surrealist styles. You're more of an art behind the camera there. She's more of an art. What call it? What is it?
I agree.
I agree. That's what we got. We got I agree. Yeah. She can't even give us a
little bit of surrealism and maximalism. I try to fit as much as I can, so people can just look at one of my paintings and spend some time with it, and so they can relate to their.
How did you find your style in this? What was
Well, first I wanted to create a big painting, and fit as much as I could in it, and I bought a canvas at Michael's, and bought the biggest one, and I spent the little money that I had at the moment
on a lot of acrylic,
on some acrylic paint, and I decided I want to just make an ocean and a city and a desert, and I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to paint, so I knew I wanted to paint something that had to do with the ocean. So I had this big canvas, and I don't want to do a typical ocean scene or seascape, so I decided to put everything that I think is in the ocean
in that moment.
Yep.
Wow.
So
that's incredible. How long does something? Now, and guys, we're going to show you off camera here in a minute, but I wanted to take something like this. How long does something like this take?
About 4 months.
About 4 months.
About 3.5 to 4 months.
Wow,
couple hours a day.
That is incredible, and there's a lot of little details here. I was just struck by because in addition to having all of the sea life that's here, I just saw a little guy somewhere, sticking out here somewhere. I'm just struck by all of the amazing little details.
There's some hidden
little Easter eggs, I guess they're calling them now out there. Wow. So, where do you draw inspiration from? What types of things grab your attention and say, I want to do something with that? I mean, this obviously has a really there's a sea scene here with the sea turtles in the background here, and then everything surrounds that.
Yeah.
So what kind of stuff do you see that just pops and grabs?
I just like color, and I like psychedelic pictures and just
Yes, done deal. He's got that going on.
Psychedelics.
That is really awesome. That's one of the things that struck me when I first saw these is the choice of color. There's a lot of high contrast, a lot of yellows and really popping greens.
So I just like to paint something like the red, and what contrasts with red would be green, and then around that, I try not to put too much of the same color around each object.
So everything pops.
Yeah.
Because there's so much contrast, which is really, really. Oh, there he is. There's the little guy I saw there. He's tucked in over there. I knew he was there somewhere. Okay, so where do you like to paint, man? You got a room at the house, a studio? Is it in the garage? Is it in your bedroom? Where do you like to paint?
I actually paint. I have a one-bedroom condo on the beach over in Indialantic, and
fantastic.
I have my setup in my living room.
Just right
on
there?
an easel. Yep. And since I paint in detail, so paint doesn't really get all over the place.
Yeah, I just say small lines, really small
Yeah.
sections. So that helps with the mess, of course.
Yeah.
I noticed you've got a little eye for some fantasy stuff here. We've got the girl in the woods back here, and I loved you did that psychedelic kind of the '60s tree leaves. I loved that.
Yeah.
You guys looking for a little Partridge Family feel here. This is kind of cool. And then we got a wizard over here. So this has got to grab a lot of attention. People walking by. Do a lot of talk. What is the best interaction that you've had with a patron walking by seeing your art?
I've talked to many people who like my art, but some of the most memorable times are with people who really aren't big into art, but then they see my work and that inspires them.
That's fantastic. It really is, because it's a unique thing about your style is that it is eye-catching right away.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be looking for that specific piece of art. This is something that's going to draw you in.
Yeah.
And of course, once you're in this world, there's so much to see. I keep seeing new stuff every time I turn around.
It's a little chaotic, but once you get to look at every object, you forget that you spend like 30 minutes looking at the painting. So
it is. It's awesome, and it is. I think one of the reasons people like art in their homes today is because it starts conversations, and there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on to talk about. So
I like to be unique.
Yes. Okay. We're told off camera that your mom says kids like to stop and find stuff in your paintings.
Yeah, it's my artwork is very popular with kids. Draws in a lot of kids, which draws in their moms and dads to buy the artwork for them. So they sit there for about 15 minutes pointing out things that they recognize
Things
and
that they can find.
really
Now, what kind of
draws
things
them
do you typically like to kind of sneak in and hide in? Like I said, I see the little guy over here. He's a little out of place. This little.
I create
guy
faces.
Yeah.
So there's a face right here.
Oh,
you can't
wow,
really
it's in the
see
cave,
it.
yeah.
And then a face like a tiki.
Oh, I see him
Like
up
a-
there. Yes.
So throughout the painting, there are
You'll
some.
find those little.
I'm
Easter
getting
egg
to do
faces.
that more and more, like a bird right here. Outline of a bird. But
Oh, totally missed that. That's cool. Now I can't not see it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have the camera swing around. We're gonna keep talking a little bit. She's gonna swing around and catch some of this stuff because I'd love for you to talk a little bit about these. These are, we talked about this piece and how long it takes to create something like this, but you've got some pieces here. Yes, we can do that. I will do that. Okay, I got it. So we're gonna bring this around. Sage, move the camera a little bit here and back it up so that they can see. So this, what size is this? What is this?
This is 36 by 48
36
inches.
by 48. How long does something like this take to create?
Well, with the drawing is the hard part. The drawing and erasing, that's a couple months, and then everything after that is about a couple more months. It's like filling in a coloring book.
Oh, wow. And you do all the line art first?
Yep.
And then color from there?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That is incredible. This is...
And I set some of it up on...
This is Old MacDonald's worst nightmare. It's like a Old MacDonald's city. every farmyard and barn animal, and there's a picnic going on over here. Wow, this is really incredible stuff. And
Thank you.
This one really, the next one that we're going to show, really caught my eye when you came in to sit on the set. And she's going to move for that because I'm not going to bring it in front of us. So this piece, this is another underwater piece. Yes? Yep. Okay. And again, more hidden faces, there's a treasure chest down here. I did notice here, though, a submarine. I did notice here, though, over here, you've mixed your maximalist and surrealist influence with a little bit of realism.
Realism,
because
yeah.
we've got the sea turtles that are very, very, realistic. We've got some of the sea life that's very accurately represented. Over here, you stayed a little more psychedelic.
Yeah.
I see the shape of the fish and the whales and the dolphins. It's a little more interpretive.
It depends on where I'm at at the time and what inspires me. So these big paintings, I did what I call the World Series.
Okay.
So I'm still working on big paintings like this. I'm gonna do the grasslands and
wow.
Arctic. So I'm never really done with it. So each painting brings me back to a specific time where I was either struggling or doing good in life, and it's just
and now, do you paint full time now, or are you still working the proverbial day job, or what are you doing?
I work from home. I'm a part-time graphic designer.
Awesome.
And I do this
That is
the
fantastic.
painting.
That is awesome, man. We love it when our creative artists get to work in their fields.
Yeah.
So as a graphic designer, you get to exercise those artistic
It took me a
muscles.
long time to actually establish that.
It is hard. It's a very hard thing to do. Now, if there's a young artist out there and wanted to kind of know, if you could give one piece of advice to a young you, what would that be?
Don't ever think you can't do something that you think is possible. Don't ever give up. Obviously, I just haven't given up. So
Yeah.
I keep pushing.
How was the show this weekend? How was the show?
The show was
Talked
great.
to a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of people coming by. Yeah, that's fantastic, man.
Yeah, it was a good
show. Where can people find you next? Will you be at another art show coming up, or where are you going to be?
I'm going to sign up for Vero Beach, the
Okay.
art show in Vero Beach,
Awesome.
and I don't have any set plans yet, but so just
What are
apply
people
for as
saying? What are
much.
people saying? The more places you go with your art, what's the reaction?
like, wow, I have returning customers who go to the art shows that I'm doing. When I advertise myself, I see some people that I've sold my art to, so I always have a few people that come back and buy some new artwork.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
That really is an amazing thing.
They're collectors.
We're gonna grab a bunch of information from you. She's gonna give you a test, and we're gonna grab a bunch of information. We're gonna share your social media profiles and that, so you can find you guys. We've been hanging out with artist and painter Mike Fogelberg. We've been examining some of his paintings, talking about his style. We're gonna share some links down in the description so that you know where to find Mike online. You can find some of this amazing work. Fantastic stuff. You're gonna want to check it out. We are gonna say thank you to our partners and friends, the great Gene Turnbow and his crew at Krypton Radio, as well as Bea and her team at Hearts Helping Others of Central Florida. Space Coast Comics, Indie Originals are the OG sponsor for the Hangin with Web show. Famous Faces and Funnies. Thank you to Rick Shea and his whole team. And of course, our good friend and artist, Josh Bauer at J Bauer Art, who normally provides the art for our set, but Mike brought his with us today, and we are super glad that you guys got to see this stuff. So to see more, hit the links down below and go check out Mike online. In the meantime, stay tuned in and stay logged on and see who we're hanging with next. Mike, thank you so much.
Thanks for
man.
having
That was
me.
awesome.